Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Summa Social Elite, hosted by yours truly, Donna Newman of Summa Social. As this new year begins, and we are literally on the edge of the last day of January, tipping ourselves into February, we started off January 2013 really with a bang, and that was to ensure that you've got some action behind your New Year goals. So, to that theme, today's topic is the third in our five-part series. That's smart New Year's resolutions for social media, from concept to action, literally, so that when you return to work, you've got the concept at hand and the action to be able to see your outcome. Each week, then, for 5 weeks, we've really focused on exactly how to achieve SMART goals. And the first that I wanted to talk about is kind of a recap of where we've been, with today being that we're featuring the A of SMART. A is for achievable. So, recapping where we've been, S stands for specific, and this allows you to specifically target your ideal audience, thereby generating you more targeted traffic so that you can talk with prospects who are likely to convert into customers. Number two is measurable, because social media marketing in the old days, so to speak, or when it was in the incubation stage, was really a leprechaun and a unicorn measurement. Now we have tools to be able to measure the outcome so that you know that if you were to have a goal and take some steps to achieve that, you would have a marketable, measurable outcome. And then A, this very topic for today is achievable. And this really starts with a realistic plan. And that is, can I do it? Do I have the skills to be able to achieve the outcome? R stands for relevant, because in today's economy, it's the social peer influence that drives the buying decisions. And finally, time bound. Time management is really the key attribute of social media success. You don't want to just be there for the sake of being there, because you could be there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, hours, and still have no measurable outcome. In today's economy, we really want to focus on achievable, with today's economy being that people, consumers, especially those under the age of 50, are looking first to the internet to find a relevant product or service, nearing zero for traditional yellow and white page searches. Then we have to be where your target audience is spending the majority of their time. So, for starters, that's got small business owners like all of us concerned, because traditional media and traditional marketing strategies are not yielding as strong returns as years past, simply because we've got social media on there. And that is where a lot of people are spending their time. The internet is really changing the way that people buy and consume. So think of it this way: social media sites are really the bread and butter for internet search engines. And picture yourself this minnow. You're the little fish. You are the content. The middle fish is the search engines that are looking to eat you. And the biggest fish is the consumer, searching for your content that only a search engine can provide. So, as the little fish, you've got to feed the search engines with content. And the better the quality of the content, then you will most likely be eaten. So, your content needs to be compelling, needs to be shareable, needs to be persuasive. And when you have content that is of this quality, you as the minnow will be eaten by the search engines, so that when the bigger fish, your consumer, goes to the internet and looks to find your content, you will appear on the top of the search engine, and hopefully that'll be the first page. So then some of your goals for social media marketing might be these: brand exposure, targeted traffic, customer communication. Maybe it's SEO. Maybe you want to stay top of mind. Maybe you want to build a relationship. But whatever those goals are, you need some specific tactics with how you're going to achieve those goals. Yet, social media content can seem like a plump waste of time unless your plan is achievable. And this is where your goals should stretch you slightly so you feel challenged, but they need to be defined well enough so that you and your staff can really achieve them in a short amount of time. So here's a quick fix, but it's a hearty meal for the search engines. This is kind of like the Sarah Lee of social media. And with that in mind, I'm going to show you how I do it, how other clients do it, so that they get content out there. Remember, the whole crux of what we're doing with social media is we need to feed the search engine, which feeds our consumer, so that we won't be overlooked, that we'll be eaten, and we will be able to deliver the product or service. Therefore, our bottom line is well fed. So the tactics to be able to do this is threefold, and it's simple. The first one is write a blog. And for realtors, this could be that you're writing a blog and it's going to be through e-properties, or maybe it's Active Rain, or maybe it's a blog off your website. For authors, it could be that you're piggybacking a blog that is going to be on your website, and then you syndicate it so that the moment you post it, it will appear in your LinkedIn, in your Twitter feed, in your Facebook feed, and maybe even that same blog you are going to put within your email campaign. So your blog is your content that you're spending a little bit of time on, and the blog topics can come from what are the most frequently asked questions that my consumers want answers to. Or you could actually write a blog on how they could best utilize your services. Or if you've got a standard product, but you want it to be repurposed, or you want other people, let's say you're an author and it's great to read your book, but wouldn't it be better if maybe someone were to start a book club with your book? Or if they were to teach a class based upon the content within your book? In order for people to really think out of the box of simply picking it up and letting it be their nighttime reading and then finishing it, putting it on their shelves, sometimes they need a little nudge to be able to think of what that next possibility could be. So if you write a blog about 3 ways that you could implement the strategies from my book, would be to teach a class, would be to blog about it yourself, and would be etc., etc. So here, the blog can be anything you want, but allow it to be relevant to the benefits of the consumer, be able to answer a question. And with that being said, anytime that you write a blog, you're usually answering a question with 3 solutions or 3 bullets. And it's those very 3 bullets that begin to be then your Facebook posts. So every blog, anytime you write a blog, is now 3 Facebook posts. And those 3 Facebook posts, which are the bullets within your blog, are 3 exact topics for your YouTube videos. So see how simple it was. Not easy because you have to do it, but it was simple. Now you have a blog. You know that every blog you're going to write is going to be full of 3 bullets to achieve, or 3 solutions. And then each 3 solutions will appear as Facebook posts. And then each of those Facebook posts will be your YouTube topics. And your YouTube videos could easily be about 30 seconds to a minute and a half. But now you've got content out there. YouTube videos are pretty prominent because Google scrubs YouTube just as strong as it scrubs its own search engine, because Google owns YouTube. And when people search YouTube, they're putting keywords within the search engine, oftentimes how to find a realtor, how to use IDX, how to implement the topics of your book, how to find a good date if you're an author of a dating book. Anytime that you can create content within the blog that gives you those 3 topics, now you have 3 Facebook posts and you have 3 YouTube videos. But you started with something simple, and then instantly you had your Facebook conversation for the week, and then all you had to do was put 30 seconds to a minute and a half of an action behind how to implement each of those three solutions. Now you have content on the internet that appeals to people who are very watch friendly. In today's economy, we have so many young people who want to watch things far faster than they want to read them. There's plenty of people over the age of 50 who are still tried and true and they want to see it in writing. So that's where your blog is. And then, of course, the largest search engine on any internet, the one that captures more attention and more time spent, is Facebook. And then finally, you've got the show me approach when it comes to YouTube. People don't always want to be told, as you do in a blog, but they want me to show them. And that's where YouTube becomes invaluable. So anytime, this is kind of a standing joke in my house, anytime that we have something that it's a big goal, whether it's for the kids in their basketball, or it's for me and my business, kids at school in their scholastics, we always look at what would Barbie do? Because we well know that Barbie has achieved every goal she's ever set for herself. She's gone to college, she's played on sports teams, been a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, an astronaut, an ambassador, a photographer, a movie star. Let's see, she's been an army captain, an artist, a dentist, a dog trainer, firefighter, Shakespearean hero, and I think she's even been president of the United States, but all while carrying on lifelong friendships. And even if G.I. Joe can't even keep up. So I know that if G.I. Joe can't keep up, none of us can either. So the joke in our house is, we know that we're not perfect. So what are the skill sets that we have, that we can manage, that we're good at, that would allow us to write a simple blog, that would allow us then to take those 3 points and post them on Facebook, and then do a quick little video about what are the benefits of implementing each of those bullet points. And the more content you have out there and you make it simple, the more you're going to be able to influence the search engine, and the content that people are searching for will have your name stamped on it. So for us, Barbie is really a metaphor for unrealistic expectations. So as you approach this next month, February 1st, feed the search engines with your content so that you get found, and you do it in an achievable manner. You're going to start with that blog, which gives you 3 to 5 Facebook posts, and then you're going to have 3 to 5 of those topics for YouTube. And here's the good news. As you carry out these 3 steps, you can achieve having your business be found on the internet. Something that seemed impossible when you started, but now is easily achievable with a simple, consistent system. And now it's your turn. We've got a couple of questions that I've seen entered in the question area here. And guys, if you have any questions, then just go ahead and ask them. Okay, so the first one is, how do you construct a blog? And how many words does a blog need to be? So in reference to that, we wanted to go ahead and mention one of the very important things is to identify what you want to talk about and then put those 3 bullets. But normally you can achieve the blog from start to finish within anywhere from 250 to 750 words. And a couple of tips here. If you know the catchphrases or the key words that people would use to search, just intuitively search for your industry or your content or specifically you, then go ahead and put those within your blog in a repetitive way. So the more times you repeat those phrases, the more that you're going to have you're going to have a higher value according to a search engine. So make it so that it makes sense when you've got your keywords in there, and make those keyword phrases consistent. Maybe repeat them within each paragraph. And then second, one of the things that I learned from one of my favorite speakers is a construction called PSA. So whenever you're putting together a blog or a speech or a video, always approach it from PSA. You want to have a point, and then you want to have a story about that point, and then you want to have an application. So when you talk about here's how you actually implement an achievable goal on social media, and then you tell a story, and maybe that would be what would Barbie do story, and you relate it to something that people can remember, and maybe it's personal, maybe it's just a catchphrase they can remember. And then second, you give a specific application. So when you implement these very blogs, these Facebook posts, and YouTube. Now you're giving content. Now you're the minnow, and you're the content feeding the search engine, and it's the search engine that's feeding the consumer for the exact content that will show up on the first page. So when you follow the format of that PSA, point story application, people easily remember your point, giggle at your story, and then they have an opportunity to see how that would really work if they were to apply it. And then somebody else is asking, what are, how often do I need to write a blog? Well, that honestly depends upon you knowing your clients. But, and I know that that's kind of a garbage response on my part, but you really got to know what do your people want first. And then second, I would encourage you to write when you're getting started. Let's go back to Achievable. When you're getting started, let's write one blog a week because you only need 3 to 5 Facebook posts. And if you had 3 to 5 video topics that you could accomplish within a week, now that's hugely ambitious. But if you just had that one blog that produced 3 to 5 Facebook posts and you use that each week, then you could save the YouTube topics and just let 3 to 5 YouTube videos be there for that 1 month. But now you've got an opportunity to think, okay, so I can do one. But then if you're a brand new author, if you're a brand new realtor, if you're a brand new dentist, you want to be able to get content out there as quickly and as consistently as possible because you remember, it's all about feeding the search engine. And if you're anything like me, you eat 3 to 5 meals a day. So we got to be wise about being consistent. And I'll oftentimes, when we work with a lot of authors, they are told to do their first 100 blogs, one every single day. And that can be painstaking. But if you at least did one a week and then you got some momentum so that you got a simple system, you would probably get up to making 2 a week. And that content will live forever out on the search engines. We've got another question. Does it have to be a phrase? It is difficult to keep writing renewal classes throughout the real estate information. It doesn't have to be a phrase. It has to be, it could be a phrase, it could be a keyword. But really what it has to be is something that the average person is putting inside the search engine to be able to find content that is going to be something they want to purchase. So what I would recommend, because you might have an idea of the content you want to be known for, and that could be entirely different than the content that you are actually known for or that people are actually searching for. So what I always do when I'm about ready to put a title on a YouTube video or a blog or a topic, I first think of the keywords that I'm writing about in that blog. And then I put those keywords into Google and I see what other content comes up on the first page. Is it a blog? Is it a video? Is it a website? Is it Pinterest? Is it a Facebook post? Is it a tweet? What other content is out there? And do I like that content? Would I, as a consumer, even want to go to that content? And if it's not, I'm going to change up my keywords. What keywords are they using that I like? And so if I go in and see what the keywords they're using that maybe got the first post to the top, the second post at its just underneath that, then I'm going to write a better topic because I will repeat the intentional keywords that people are searching for, and I will deliver the benefit in a quicker way so that my time, again, is not wasted, but my end goal is achieved. And we all know our end goal is to get more business. So we want to make sure that the content we're putting out there is going to be searched for, and that could be just a keyword. It could be a couple of keywords. But I'd first start with what you think you want to be known for, doing a little research by putting it in a search engine, And quickly you're going to know if those are the right keywords or if you need to change it up a little bit. And then finally, someone is asking, what do we do with those blogs beyond a blog, a Facebook post, and a YouTube? So often what I tend to do, because again, I'm trying to keep everything achievable, and that's what a small business owner has to do. So you start with that blog. It gives you 3 Facebook posts. It also gives you those topics for YouTube. Well, I would also take those Facebook posts, and those would be my 3 tweets. And then I would actually put each of those topics, those 3 topics, as part of an email training campaign for myself. And then oftentimes I've got a lot of journals like Inc. and Entrepreneur and a couple of dental journals that ask me to write articles. And so rather than scratching my head and thinking, what original content do I have to come up with yet again, I go ahead and look back to a blog I've written and I specifically look at those bullets. And then off those bullets, I can either embellish the blog or play upon a couple of those bullets. That way, I have more of my content in different venues and different mediums reaching people, and the same keywords are out there. So that eventually, when they put the keywords within the search engine, and it has nothing to do with Summa Social, nothing to do with Donna Newman, my content will be up there in multiple formats. And that way, I meet the learning needs. So if that's all the questions, then let's just kind of think of how can we be achievable. And ladies and gals, if you've got any questions along the way, feel free to drop me a line, drop me an email, post inside of the Summa Social Elite group, and then do something that you can actually implement these 3 tactics literally when you get off this webinar and then return to work. So anytime you've got the opportunity to do that quick blog, then you have your posts, you've got your tweets, you've got your email campaign, and you've got your YouTube topics. So thanks so much again, everyone, for joining us. Make it an achievable month of February. I'll see you next week, and we're going to be looking at exactly how you can make your content and social media relevant so that your target audience will be influenced to buy your products. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.